Hello and welcome to MegaTrip, the travel channel that inspires you to adventure. Once again, you join me in Georgia, this time in the capital, Tbilisi. And we are in Metatsminda Park. Now, Metatsminda Park is essentially, well, it's a park, right? But it's also a theme park, and you can see a little spire up here. Anyway, I'll give you a little bit more info on. Anyway, like I said, we're in Tbilisi, in Georgia, in Metatsminda Park, and it's a weird little theme park, I guess. And the way you get here, or at least the way we got here, was on cable car. Now, there's kind of three main cable cars in the city. I'm not going to try and pronounce the names because I'm really struggling with Georgian pronunciation, but this is one of them, and it brings you up from the city to the park itself, and you can see some wonderful views back over the city, over the river that flows through the heart of Tbilisi. In terms of cost, I think for us, for a return ticket for two people was 50 Georgian lari. So what's that? That's about $15 maybe, something like that. Probably got that wrong, but somewhere in that region. And check it out. It's really nice and chill and tranquil. Beautiful summer's day. There's restaurants and a big spire. Feel free to look it up on Google what that is. Anyway, let's carry on looking around the amazing city of Tbilisi here in Georgia. Cue the music. So we've headed down from Metatsminda Park now into the centre of Tbilisi, or the bottom of the old town, down on the river, and you can really start to see the beauty of this city. Check all of this out. What looks like an amazing church and sculpture up there on the bank. We've got the Meteki Church of the Assumption, and the statue in front, the equestrian statue of King Vakhtang Gori, who was the founder of Tbilisi here in Georgia back in the 5th century. Absolutely riddled with history, this place. Can't beat it. But it's a real mix here of old mixed with the new. So you can see perhaps over this way, the Peace Bridge. It's modern structure here down on the river. Maybe we'll get a chance to look at that in a bit more detail later. But mixed with some very old items. We're about to get another cable car to go see one of those. A particular bit of sculpture celebrating the history of Georgia, of Tbilisi. Now, Georgia, the country, was actually founded over 1,500 years ago, and that is what this sculpture celebrates. Anyway, let's enjoy the little walk to the cable car. So it's just maybe a 4 or 5 minute ride up in the cable car, maybe 500 meters, 508 meters maybe. And you get some local Georgian music here at the top to welcome us. Right, let's crack on. So as you get up to the top of the cable car, there is the Narikala fortress, sat up here on the side of the mountain above the city of Tbilisi. You see the top of the fortress adorned with the crucifix in this Orthodox Christian country. And you can see why it was placed here. All right, MegaTrippers, well, we didn't come up this cable car just for the Narikala fortress. Oh no, 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 no. We came up here for one of the most famous sculptures in the city, known not as the mother of Georgia, as some people say, but as the mother of Georgians. Here she is. This sculpture stands over the city of Tbilisi, protecting its citizens, bearing witness to its citizens, built in 1953 to celebrate the 1,500-year anniversary of Georgia. That's right, it's a really, really old country here. Anyway, here she is in all of her glory. So stop. We are going to the Peace Bridge, and you can see it just up here. I showed it to you from the river before, but this is the bridge up here. This serpentine glass structure over the river that you can see. And that actually talks a lot about the spirit of Tbilisi, or certainly the architectural spirit. It is an old city, over 1,500 years old here in Tbilisi in Georgia. But they haven't tried to hang on to that past too much. Yes, they're preserving the old buildings, the old culture. You'd have seen endless sculptures, churches, old houses and boulevards around here. But when it comes to modern buildings and modern architecture, they're really then embracing it into the very heart of the city. And things like the Peace Bridge here are a fantastic example of just that. As you get up here onto this glass and steel mega structure over the river down here in the centre of Tbilisi, you can really tell the quality of the design. It's a very, very hot day here today, and it's nice and cool. You've got the shade from the superstructure, and of course a beautiful breeze blowing through these open sides. As you can see, the little tourist boats that go up and down the river. Maybe that's something we'll give a go in another video, see what it's like. But I cannot recommend it enough. Get yourself down here to Tbilisi, Georgia. As you walk through the old town down here in Tbilisi, it is absolutely stunning, and it's got almost a Provençal, southern France kind of vibe, with street art, little cafes, of course churches, musicians, all in these beautiful little streets. You can just wander around and get lost. And like I said, this is a very dense city. There's lots going on. We haven't come far at all. But anyway, the reason we came to this particular bit is to see this clock tower. Wonderfully designed, built into the environment of the old town here in Tbilisi. Now, I said before, so we are here outside the city of Tbilisi with an amazing view back down to the city itself, you can see there. But we've come here for one thing, and for one thing only for this video, and that is for the Chronicles of Georgia. Check this out. Absolutely stunning monument dedicated to the 300th anniversary of Georgian statehood and the 200th or 2000th anniversary of Christianity being disseminated within the country. Let's go take a look at this bad boy, eh? Wowzers. So the Chronicles of Georgia stands here as a monument to the country on top of a little hill as you get outside of the city. And it's obviously a pretty busy and interesting tourist attraction, but you can really see why. It is cool, it is massive. I think, let's try and guesstimate how tall this is for you. Maybe 30, 40 meters. These huge obelisk-like statues or structures, all with specific carvings all the way through. And this 3D pantheon, this tribute to the country and heritage of Georgia. And you can see from the friezes here, it very much pays tribute to the Christian side of Georgia, to that side of the Georgian country. Absolutely stunning. Anyway, here's your montage. This time, here on MegaTrip, we're going to do something a bit different down here in Tbilisi, in Georgia. We're going to check out what's known as the left bank, the alternative scene here in Tbilisi. But we do know we're going to join our amazing guide, George, as we spend some time in the early evening, kind of 6 o'clock till 10 o'clock at night, wandering around the left bank of Tbilisi. Now, several years ago, this place wasn't a place that you went. It was a bit downtrodden, but it's now coming up. It's rising like the Hackneys of London, if you like. It's a cool, trendy area. So we're going to spend some time with our amazing guide, George, who is going to take us around. Okay, Mega Tripper, so you're probably wondering who this guy is. Well, this is Gori, or George. I'm probably mispronouncing his Georgian name. Anyway, George was a guy who said he'd take us on a tour of the left bank of Tbilisi, the hipster, trendy side of the city. You can find all his details in the description of the video if you want George to take you around this super cool, interesting view of the capital of Georgia, Tbilisi. Now, back to the video.
This is very unique mix, by the way. It's strawberry and this is fruit called emali. I'm sure you would try the sauce, the sour sauce, green or red.
Sure.
So that's a fruit, which is made. And this is, I would say, the most local thing, especially for my generation, previous generation, because guys, we did not really have any carbonated drinks or cola or Fanta. This was the only refreshing drink in our childhood, in my parents' childhood. So that's why this place is trying to have something modern and something traditional too. So we're gonna have traditional drink with a modernized appetizer.
Okay, sure.
This is a very interesting mix.
At this point, George decided to show us around some of the cool bars in this trendy area, including, and I mean this, some of the most interesting toilet doors I've seen on any of my adventures.
That are looking more shiny, they are fake ones.
Okay.
See, these two are the real ones. This one has hazelnut inside, this one has walnut inside. Grapes juice are outside. You gotta start boiling the grapes juice. Keep stirring is a key point. Add the flour, can be wheat or corn flour. Once you get the jelly thick consistency, dip these nuts inside, take them out, let them dry, and you have churchela. This is the most local sweet, and
Okay, at this point we got distracted by one of the local shopkeepers. But you get the idea. Georgians make their national sweet by dipping their nuts into wine jelly. Okay, Mega Tripper, so time for some more exposition. Now let me start with this. Georgian hospitality is off the hook. There we were, wandering around the National Stadium, looking at the entrance of a famous techno club, and all of a sudden, who walks over to us but the health and safety manager for the National Stadium? Not only does he say hello, but he actually takes us onto the pitch itself. Check this out. Wow, okay. So this is the National Stadium, just getting ready for a Justin Timberlake concert.
His stadium has very old history.
Yeah?
Very old history. Very old. It's a Dinamo Tbilisi. Do you ever hear about Dinamo Tbilisi? No?
No.
Never.
When you... It's very cool.
They played maybe West Ham.
Okay, yeah, West Ham.
West Ham.
Yeah. From my bit of London.
And maybe Liverpool's team. Maybe.
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 Let's say so. Let's say so. And how many people?
55,000.
55,000 in here. Wow.
But, during the Soviet Union time, there was a 80,000. 80,000.
Wow. Okay. 80,000.
80,000. And after Soviet Union period, there was a UEFA's regulation. UEFA, you know.
Yeah.
Sepp Blatter and another.
Yeah.
Regulation, and they must be to adapt the situation. Yeah. This is our very worldwide famous stage. This we bought about 3 years ago, and we pay $38 million
For the stage?
Yeah, for the stage.
Somebody made some money, huh? Yeah. Wow. So a $38 million stage.
There was a one famous stars such as, for example, Aerosmith, Scorpions,
Oh, wow.
Purples, Elton John, and Jessie G, Bruno Mars.
Wow. What you recognise there, Bruno Mars?
Robbie
Williams.
And my brother, Imagine Dragons.
Bruno Mars also performed here.
On the other side, there was 2 years ago.
Okay.
On the other side, there was a stage.
This is very special for me too. Like, I've never been in such a way. I've never.
Wow.
I have been a photographer on the stadium, but not for the.
Not down by the pitch.
Like a concert.
Yeah. Wow, it's so cool. Thank you very much.
Really
Really kind. Next up on our trip, George took us to the famous Fabrica, a co-working, eating and drinking space that really started to rejuvenate the left bank of Tbilisi. And of course he took us for some obligatory shots of cha-cha. Unfortunately, they were playing copyright music, so... Oh, it's delicious, it tastes like sunshine.
Hi, this is Lizzie, and welcome to...
And this time, you join me in Kakheti, wine country in Georgia, in Eastern Europe. Check this place out. But like I said, you join us in Kakheti. Now, Kakheti is the main wine region here in Georgia. Now, you may not have heard of Georgia being a wine-based country, but actually, it is the home of wine. The oldest wine ever discovered in the world was discovered here in Georgia, and I mean in a clay urn beneath the ground. The oldest history of wine is from here in Georgia, and they certainly claim that this is where it all started. And you know what? I'm inclined to agree with them. I've had a few little glasses, a few little tastes. But for this episode of MegaTrip, we want to do something a little bit different once again. So rather than going around the whole region, we are going to focus on this place, on Shushman Wine Chateau. So here it is, once again, a little flip round. And really what it is, it's a few acres of land here in Kakheti. There's vineyards, there's a hotel where you can stay, there's a winery where they make the wine, and of course they manufacture it, ship it here, and of course you can do wine tasting, vineyard tours, etc. And we'll have a little look at that. In terms of where this place is, well, from Tbilisi, I guess, from the capital, it's probably about an hour and a half drive, and it is in the base of the Caucasus Mountains, as so many places are here, and you can see those over in the background. So enough of me waffling on. That's what we're going to focus on in this episode of MegaTrip. We're going to have a little look at Shushman Wine Chateau here in Kakheti, Georgia. So I'm becoming one with the wine here in Georgia. This is a Vino Terra, it's the brand they have. This is the traditional Georgian style. I'm sure all of you have cut in, or you'll have already seen some footage of Helena explaining something important about it. But what I can tell you is, one, is absolutely beautiful in terms of colour. I mean, check this amber hue out. You can tell why they call them amber wines. But two, most importantly, it's yummy. Cheers. Okay then, Mega Tripper. As you might have guessed, I am no wine expert. So best at this stage if we hand over to Helena from the Shushman Winery to tell us all about the winemaking process here in Georgia. And I'm sorry about the audio, but you get the idea.
Nice to meet you. I'm Helena, and I would like to give you at first the introduction about our company and how we're producing the wines. And of course, after that, you have the opportunity to taste different samples to get a deeper impression about all that. So first of all, our company is called Shushman Wines Georgia. And that is because the founder of our company is Mr. Burkhard Schuckmann. So he's a German man, not a winemaker by profession. He worked as an engineer in the railway industry, but for his retirement he decided to open up a winery because he's a huge wine lover. And he decided for Georgia because Georgia is the homeland of wine with more than 8,000 years of history in traditional winemaking in Kakheti. And he was impressed by the fact that the people are still practicing this way of making wine, even though there are much more modern ways right now to produce wine. The Khodis are made out of clay. They're placed underground to profit from the natural cool temperature, and the material is clay. In this case, it's a quite big quality. It can hold up to 3,000 liters, so it's more than 2 meters deep. So we can showcase that. No, we couldn't.
Go on in, get.
But actually, you're right, because the first step before we actually can produce wine, we have to clean them, and for the cleaning, a person goes inside.
Have to go down there.
Right. So just
Get a
we
job.
can take a look how big and deep it is.
Whoa.
It's really more than 2 meters deep, and also yeah. it seems actually much smaller than it really is, because we have this small opening and then it goes like wide in the middle and then narrow to the bottom. So it's like a bigger egg by shape. So from red wines we get, from red grapes we get red wines. I think that's clear, but the unique and typical wine color in Georgia is amber. Colored wines, they stay all together with the solid pieces in the cavities. We'll just seal them. For that we would put a layer of wet clay, like here. Then we press the heavy slates on top, and then on top of that a layer of sand. So they're hermetically sealed, and we would keep that for half a year. The main reason is also to intensify the color, because actually the alcohol itself helps to extract more color pigments from the skins. So we are reaching, by doing that, the final white color, as well as that there is a natural filtration ongoing meanwhile, where all the solid pieces start to slide down. So technically after opening it, we just have to pump out the wine, and the solid pieces are also used. They're used for the production of cha-cha.
Quick cheers. Let's see how it is. So Schussmann 2021 Blanc de Blanc Brut Chardonnay. Very, very tasty. I'll be honest, the bottle we've got isn't that fizzy, but very, very tasty. I'm not going to say it tastes like champagne, because it doesn't quite, but it definitely does taste like Blanc de Blanc French wine. It's delicious. Here we go. It's a real vina culture around here, a real wine culture around here, in absolutely beautiful countryside, all overlooked by the Caucasus Mountains out there. Stunning. So, my tip to you, get yourself out here, have an adventure, throw some stuff in a bag. It's not wildly expensive, certainly compared to European prices. Sometimes things are a little bit rough and ready, but that's it for our time in Kakheti. This time, you join us again in Georgia, but in Sighnaghi. Sighnaghi is known as the City of Love, the Town of Love, here in eastern Georgia. But like I said, we're in Sighnaghi, what's known as the Village of Love or the Town of Love. I'll tell you a bit more about that in a second, but we are in eastern Georgia, about 2 hours drive away from Tbilisi, and we are staying at the frankly amazing, a little bit weird, but frankly amazing Bod Bay Hotel, which is set up in the mountains with a beautiful view over the valley and over the town of Sighnaghi. And it really is a kind of cool, tranquil place. At the moment we're just in the woods outside the main village, outside the main town, in this eastern bit of Georgia, so on the border, or close to the border with Armenia and actually with Azerbaijan as well. Now, Sighnaghi is known as the Village of Love or the Town of Love, and it's a little bit like a cross between Vegas and Gretna Green, if you like. So it is the Village of Love, as here they have a 24-hour constant wedding registry. So traditionally people can escape here, elope here and go and get married. Anyway, let's have a little look around this beautiful town. So the original settlement here in Sighnaghi is a medieval town. Exactly what date? I don't know. As I often say, you Google it. And you can come and see some of the old fortifications, some of the old walls here. And we're starting here at the gate, at the Sighnaghi gate, on the old medieval wall. You climb up through some rickety wooden steps to a nice little view, I suspect, of the valley below, and all the way back up the medieval wall. So homemade local grape juice, absolutely delicious. Yeah, okay, that is really good. That is really good. Yeah. I'm going to try a pomegranate on the way back. I'm going to get a pomegranate on the way back. So Sighnaghi is in the Kakheti region, and just outside of the main Sighnaghi town there's a great little viewpoint, and here you can see down in the valley the wall that surrounds Kakheti, the Kakheti region, over the plains. And in the distance, if you go just a little bit further towards the edge of the wall for Sighnaghi, you can actually see all the way to Azerbaijan, where Baku is the capital that you might have heard of from F1. But right there in the distance, those mountains, that is Azerbaijan. So Georgia is famous for its unique cuisine. So we found ourselves a lovely little restaurant here in the mountains in Sighnaghi. Nice little view, as you can see, as you get from around here. Down there. And we've started to get our food arriving. Like I said, Georgian food's quite unique. That's tautology. It is unique. I've never had anything quite like it. It's a real mix. Lots of barbecued meats, lots of stews, lots of bread, famous dumplings. So now we're going to sit down and enjoy our little meal with a view. Here comes your montage. So down here in Sighnaghi, you can get into the old town with these beautiful cobbled streets. Lots of tourists, as you can see. Local produce. These scarves, etc. Herbs for your local style dishes. Hats. I do quite like some of the woolly hats they have here, but it's a little bit warm. I'm definitely not gonna wear one back in the Middle East. Maybe I'll get one and give it away to a commenter. Hello, hi. Whizz Air. There's plenty to buy down here. Like I said, the local crafts, the blankets, you see those everywhere. The hats made out of the wool from the mountain sheep and mountain goats. And of course, anything wine related. So that could be wine-based ice cream. That could be wine itself. That could be grape juice. And of course, that can be cha-cha. Now, cha-cha is the local spirit distilled here, very similar to a grappa. Now, we've had some at a very fancy winery. That was quite nice, but we've also found ourselves some local moonshine. You can also get that here in a little plastic bottle, sold on the roadside. In this case, by a lovely elderly couple who had 2 hectares of grapes and vines. So we'll have a little bit of that. But anyway, that's not what we're here for. This is a Christian country, like many other countries, and Sighnaghi itself has an interesting history. Historically, the population was predominantly Armenian. We're quite close to the Armenian border. Now, however, it's more like 50-50, or actually more Georgians. And one of the beautiful things to come and see here in Sighnaghi is the Sighnaghi St. George's Basilica. This beautiful old church standing on the side of the hill here. Let's go have a look. Check this out. Let's have ourselves a little MegaTrip montage. I'm not sure how much I've put in this video of that, but staying at a lovely place up here. This amazing, beautiful, tranquil old town. A little bit touristy, but definitely worth a visit. This time you join me in Gori, the home of Joseph Stalin, and that is his train behind me. This is going to be a point of view special, so we'll get into that in just a second. And Gori is the home of Joseph Stalin. This is where he was born. That's right, he was Georgian, not Russian, but ended up leading the USSR and all the stuff that comes along with that. So that's what's going to happen in this episode. Be a bit different. A little me. You can actually see Stalin's original home, kept in a little monument here. But check out the view around the museum. It is set in some beautiful gardens. Can't really go wrong.
Welcome to Gori, Georgia, the birthplace of one of history's most controversial figures, Joseph Stalin. Here, nestled in this quaint town, stands a museum that offers a glimpse into the life and legacy of a man whose name is synonymous with power and terror. Inside the Stalin Museum, our journey begins with an exploration of his early years. We see artifacts and photographs that paint a picture of young Josip Jugashvili, who would later rise to become the formidable leader of the Soviet Union. This section celebrates his roots with personal belongings and family portraits that humanize the dictator. But as we delve deeper into the exhibits, we are starkly reminded of the darker chapters of Stalin's rule. The museum displays chilling reminders of the Great Purge, the man-made famine in Ukraine, and the gulags, grim testaments to the millions who suffered under his oppressive regime. Each room tells a story, a meticulous curation of triumph and tragedy. It poses profound questions about power, ideology, and morality. Visitors walk these halls in quiet reflection, grappling with the immense scale of Stalin's impact on history and humanity. For some, this museum serves as a memorial, a solemn reminder of the past that echoes into the present. Outside, the imposing statue of Stalin stands guard, a symbol of the complex legacy that continues to spark debate around the world. As we leave the museum, one is reminded that history, while often uncomfortable, must be confronted. In Gori, the Stalin Museum stands not just as a record of the past, but as a reminder of the importance of vigilance and the preservation of freedom.
That inspires you to adventure. This time you join me in beautiful Kutaisi in Georgia, in kind of Western Asia, Western Central Asia. Anyway, check this place out. Absolutely stunning old town here on a Sunday morning. An episode of MegaTrip. But what can I tell you? Well, I can tell you we're here in the city of Kutaisi. We got in last night, flew in from Abu Dhabi. It was about a 3.5-hour flight on Whizz Air. And you know what? It's pretty beautiful. Have a little look at this. It's just a little roundabout main square here in the old town. Beautiful cobbled streets. Nice fountain. Sat over here. Of course, your obligatory McDonald's around the corner that you can't see. But anyway, like I said, we flew in last night. We're going to have a little adventure today. Don't know what's going to happen. But Kutaisi is the 4th most populated city here in Georgia. It's also one of the oldest inhabited settlements being founded, or continuously inhabited settlements being founded back in the 13th century. Let's have a little look around. I wasn't really sure what to expect coming down here to Kutaisi in Georgia, and in all honesty we flew in here because it's where the flights go from the UAE, or it's one of the places the flights go from the UAE. Nice little cheap flight over on Whizz Air, 3.5 hours. But there was one thing that I'd seen that I thought would be quite fun, a little bit different, maybe a little bit dangerous. I mean, MegaTrip dangerous, not that dangerous. So we're going to head down to the river. I'm going to take a slightly unusual form of transport here in Kutaisi in Georgia. As you walk around down here in Kutaisi, you see some real little hidden gems absolutely everywhere. So check out this little square I've just come across and look at this old building. Beautiful, stunning little courtyard nestled down here next to this cafe. Get yourself down here. Not a bad place to be. So we're getting to our next little bit of tourism to do here as we wander down towards what they call the White Bridge. And you can see that here, this old bridge over the Rioni River here in Kutaisi. And you might see on there a couple of clues about what we're going to do next. Now, why is it called the White Bridge? I don't know. Look it up on Google. Ask ChatGPT. But anyway, you do get to see the beautiful River Rioni. Look at this. It really is a nice old town, and it's dominated by a mix of architecture. You can tell it's a really old place. There's a few modern buildings, there's some post-Soviet architecture, but there's lots of quaint, cool little streets. We've just wandered back down to the middle of town, and there's this cool multi-format sculpture here. Absolutely no idea what it is. I'll try and figure it out. But look at these beautiful combination of archways framing the sculpture behind. Absolutely stunning. I mean, I don't know what I expected when I came here. I thought ex-Soviet bloc country, be grey, be drab. Absolutely not. It is really beautiful, but you can see that ex-Soviet history everywhere. Check out on this carved mural here. You can see emblazoned the hammer and sickle, the symbol of the USSR. Beautiful, beautiful place. You can almost taste the history. It's glorious. All right, dear Mega Tripper. So, things have moved on a little bit. We're still in Kutaisi, but now we have picked ourselves up a rental car and we're having a little drive around. And our main stop today, before I get run over, is at the world famous Prometheus Cave. This is one of the big tourist attractions, one of the big draws here in Kutaisi. And they have loads of lovely snacks and sweets outside. Here you go, here's Prometheus Cave.
Welcome to the heart of Western Georgia, and deep beneath its limestone surface lies one of the country's most jaw-dropping natural wonders, Prometheus Cave. Now I know what you're thinking. Is this where Prometheus was chained up for stealing fire from the gods? Well, not quite. That's ancient Greek mythology, but the cave does borrow the name, probably because it feels just as epic down here. Discovered in 1984, Prometheus Cave stretches over 1.4 kilometers of accessible chambers filled with dramatic stalactites, stalagmites, and even underground rivers. And if you're lucky, you can take a short boat ride, just like we did, through one of its eerily beautiful subterranean lakes. Just don't drop your phone. Poseidon doesn't do return. It's also refreshingly cool down here, especially coming in from the UAE. It's usually around 14 degrees Celsius, so if you're visiting in the summer, it's basically the planet's best natural air conditioning. Just bring a jacket or risk goosebumps in every shot. So whether you're a cave geek, an adventure junkie, or just trying to escape the heat, Prometheus Cave is one of Georgia's true underground treasures. Just remember, don't touch the formations, don't wander off, and no, you still can't steal fire from the gods. Alright, well I hope you enjoyed the Prometheus Cave and our little boat ride at the end there. Just a little reminder, if you're enjoying this content, make sure that you like, comment and subscribe, and tell a friend. So as ever, the orders are
like, comment, subscribe.
Anyway, that's kind of it from this episode of MegaTrip. Join us next time as we tour more around the Georgian countryside, here on MegaTrip.